American classic cars. They are not all created equal. Some are loved, some are hated. Yes, you heard it right. Not every American classic is a crowd pleaser. In fact, there are quite a few that have stirred up quite a controversy among car enthusiasts. Today, we're going to count down the top 12 classic American cars that, for various reasons, have earned a less than stellar reputation. From the Chevrolet Corvette to the AMC Pacer, we're covering them all. Let's dive right into the heart of controversy. Starting off our list at number 12 is the 1980 Chevrolet Corvette 305 California Edition. It's no secret that this car doesn't exactly rev the engines of many car enthusiasts, and there are a few reasons why. First, let's talk about the performance. It was, in a word, lackluster. This Corvette was powered by a 305 cubic inch V8 engine that output a mere 180 horsepower. For a brand synonymous with speed, this was a disappointing figure. Furthermore, this model was specifically designed to meet California's stringent emission standards. While this might sound eco-friendly, the truth is it compromised the Corvette's performance, making it the slowest version ever produced. This was a car that wore the Corvette badge, but lacked the power and speed usually associated with it. It was a Corvette that promised much, but delivered little. A Corvette that did not live up to its name. Indeed. Before we continue, don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next awesome video. Drop a comment below to share your thoughts or any topics you'd love to see in future videos. Next up, at number 11, we have the 1982 Chevrolet Camaro Iron Duke. This model, despite bearing the prestigious Camaro name, is often met with a grimace rather than a grin. The primary reason: its underwhelming performance. The Iron Duke was powered by a 4-cylinder engine that churned out a measly 90 horsepower. For a car that was supposed to represent the American muscle car era, this was a disappointing figure. Even more disheartening was the car's acceleration. 0 to 60 miles per hour? Well, that took an agonizing 20 seconds, leaving many enthusiasts feeling like they were driving a snail rather than a Camaro. The Iron Duke was more a whisper than a roar, a far cry from the power and performance car enthusiasts had come to expect from the Camaro line. The 1982 Chevrolet Camaro Iron Duke, a Camaro that failed to roar. At number 10, we find the 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 302, a vehicle that, despite its menacing name and aggressive design, never quite managed to live up to the hype. One of the major letdowns for car enthusiasts was its lack of power compared to its rivals. The Boss 302 was marketed as a street-legal race car, but in reality, it was a far cry from the powerhouses it was supposed to compete with. Equipped with a 5-liter V8 engine, it delivered a respectable 290 horsepower. However, the competition was offering much more, leaving the Boss 302 in their dust. Moreover, its sales were equally disappointing. The Boss 302 was expected to be a game changer, but the market responded with a shrug rather than a cheer. It was a hard pill to swallow for Ford, who had high hopes for this model. In the end, the 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 302 was a boss that couldn't boss the muscle car market. Coming in at number 9, the 1974 Pontiac GTO. This car certainly stirs some strong sentiments, and not in a good way. To understand why, we have to delve into its history. The GTO, or Gran Turismo Omologato, was initially a muscle car icon in the 60s, boasting bold designs and powerful engines. However, when the 1974 model rolled off the assembly line, fans were taken aback. The once mighty GTO had been downsized and stripped of its flair. Gone were the aggressive lines and large engines. In their place, a compact car with a disappointing V8 that delivered a meager 200 horsepower. The 1974 GTO was a far cry from its predecessors, a wolf's name on a sheep. Performance was another sticking point. The car lacked the punch and handling of its predecessors, leaving enthusiasts underwhelmed and longing for the GTO of old. All in all, the 1974 Pontiac GTO was a classic case of a sequel that failed to deliver. A GTO that couldn't live up to its legacy. At number 8, the Ford Mustang II. It's a car that, while bearing the illustrious Mustang name, fell short of the high expectations set by its predecessor. Released from 1973 to 78, the Mustang II represented a significant departure from the original design, much to the chagrin of Mustang enthusiasts. Instead of the raw power and sleek design associated with the Mustang, the second-generation Mustang was smaller and less powerful. It was a car designed for an era of fuel shortages and tightening emission standards, which unfortunately led to a compromise on performance. The base model came with a 4-cylinder engine that barely produced 88 horsepower. Even the V8 option was a far cry from the Mustang's glory days. This Mustang also lost some of its iconic design elements, with a more compact and less aggressive look. It was a Mustang that felt less like a wild horse and more like a domesticated pony. A Mustang that couldn't gallop. At number 7, the 1981 to 1982 DeLorean DMC-12. This gull-winged beast is a symbol of the 80s, but it's a car that left many enthusiasts unimpressed. The DMC-12 was a dream turned nightmare for its creator, John DeLorean. Despite its futuristic stainless steel body and unique design, the car was criticized for its underwhelming performance. Powered by a lackluster V6 engine, it was far from the sports car that the public had anticipated. Even with its lightweight design, the DMC-12 struggled to compete with its contemporaries in speed and handling. The story of the DeLorean is further marred by the controversy surrounding its creator, John DeLorean, who faced legal battles and bankruptcy. The car's reputation couldn't escape the shadow of its troubled inception. Ultimately, the DMC-12 is a classic example of a car that promised so much, yet delivered so little. A car more famous for its movie role than its performance. Coming in at number 6, the 1975 Ford Pinto. Now, the Pinto was Ford's answer to the surge of compact economical cars flooding the market in the 70s. But unfortunately, it wasn't the answer most people were looking for. The Pinto was riddled with safety issues, the most infamous being its tendency to explode upon rear-end collision. This was due to the fuel tank's unfortunate placement right behind the rear bumper. Talk about a design flaw. The car's lackluster performance and uninspiring design didn't help its cause either. Under the hood, the Pinto was powered by a meager 2.3-liter engine that was anything but thrilling. And as for looks, let's just say it won't be winning any beauty contests. It was a boxy, unappealing vehicle that seemed more like a prototype than a finished product. In the end, the 1975 Ford Pinto was a car that was more of a fire hazard than a mode of transportation. At number 5, the 1960 Chevrolet Corvair. Now, this was a car that dared to be different with its air-cooled rear-engine layout that was more akin to European models of the era. But it was this very uniqueness that led to its downfall. The Corvair had a notorious reputation for safety issues, most notably its handling characteristics. The rear swing axle design led to oversteer, which could cause the car to spin out of control if not handled correctly. Furthermore, the Corvair was subjected to intense scrutiny when it became the target of Ralph Nader's book, Unsafe at Any Speed. The book criticized the Corvair's design and alleged that it was responsible for numerous accidents. This public condemnation coupled with the inherent handling issues, made the Corvair a pariah in the eyes of many car enthusiasts. Despite its innovative design and unique charm, the Corvair could never shake off its tarnished reputation. A car that was unsafe at any speed, according to some. At number 4, the 2001 Chrysler PT Cruiser. A vehicle that attempted to marry the past and the present, the PT Cruiser was a bold move by Chrysler. With its retro-inspired design, it was meant to evoke the nostalgia of the 1930s gangster-era hot rods, a time when cars were a symbol of freedom and adventure. However, the PT Cruiser fell flat. Its design, though unique, was polarizing. Some found it charming, while others deemed it an eyesore. But the real kicker was its performance, or rather, the lack thereof. The PT Cruiser was powered by a 2.4-liter four-cylinder engine that, despite its size, struggled to offer an engaging driving experience. It was sluggish, lacked power, and the handling was far from inspiring. Despite its roomy interior and practicality, the PT Cruiser couldn't overcome its major flaws. Its attempt at retro charm fell flat, and it became a symbol of failed nostalgia in the automotive world. A car that tried to be retro, but ended up just being hated. At number 3, the Chevrolet Camino SS. A vehicle that straddles the line between car and truck, the Camino SS is a unique creature, but not for reasons that make car enthusiasts' hearts race. The Camino SS is known for its awkward design, a mishmash of elements from both cars and trucks. This hybrid design leaves it in a state of constant identity crisis, unsure of whether it's a sporty car with a large cargo bed or a truck with the heart of a car. Its design isn't its only downfall. The Camino's performance didn't do it any favors either. While it promised the power of a muscle car, it often fell short, delivering less than stellar performance and fuel efficiency. It was a vehicle that tried to be two things at once and succeeded at neither. The Chevrolet Camino SS, a testament to automotive ambition that was sadly misguided. A car that was neither a great car nor a great truck. Coming in at number 2, the 1975 Chevrolet Camaro. The Camaro, a name synonymous with power and style, took a turn for the worse in the mid-70s. This model year was a letdown for many enthusiasts, and it's not hard to see why. The 1975 Camaro was a departure from the original design that made the Camaro an icon. Gone were the aggressive lines and muscular stance. In their place, a softer, more rounded design that simply didn't resonate with the Camaro faithful. But the disappointment wasn't just skin deep. Under the hood, the Camaro's performance also took a hit. Strangled by emission regulations, the once mighty V8 was reduced to a shadow of its former self. The result? A Camaro that felt sluggish and unresponsive. A far cry from the exhilarating performance the nameplate was known for. In the end, the 1975 Chevrolet Camaro was a car that failed to live up to the expectations set by its predecessors. A Camaro that couldn't live up to its name. And now, the most hated American classic car, the 1977 AMC Pacer. Known for its unconventional design, the Pacer was AMC's attempt to break away from the standard, boxy American car design of the time. However, its unique, almost bulbous appearance was far from a hit. This polarizing design, combined with the car's poor performance, quickly made it a target of ridicule. Under the hood, the Pacer was equally disappointing. While it was initially praised for its smooth ride and spacious interior, its underpowered engine and poor fuel economy soon overshadowed any positives. The car's sales were as lackluster as its performance, with numbers dropping dramatically after its first year on the market. despite AMC's best efforts to market the Pacer as the car of the future. The public simply couldn't get past its oddball looks and subpar performance. A car that was as unloved then as it is now.